Hey, what's up, spooky fam? Today we are doing another installment to my little series here I started, talking about horror movies that come under 80 minutes because sometimes 90 minutes is just a little bit too long and you want something a little shorter that packs a punch. I've got another list of 10 here, but I am continually updating a list on Letterboxd with all of the movies mentioned in this series, and I will continue to do so as we update this series here. So if you guys enjoy, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more. Let me know some movies that you know under 80 minutes, some horror movies under 80 minutes that you'd like me to mention in the next video. And let's start off all the way at the back with number 10, and a movie that is only 7 minutes long, a short film, but it does pack a punch, and that is Separation from 2020, directed by Dr. Rebecca McKendry, one of my favorites. A couple going through a divorce fall ill with a mysterious illness, and when I say this packs a punch, like if you guys like body horror, definitely. I feel like I already covered this for body horror review week a little while ago because it was so just gross at the end and I loved it. It's starring Justin Benson, who was half of Benson and Moorhead, a couple of my favorite directors, and we've already mentioned a movie by Dr. Rebecca McKendry on this channel, and that was Glorious, if you guys remember from part 2 of this series. A fantastic and surprising watch starring J.K. Simmons. Next is a movie recommended by Emma, Spooky Astronauts. This, I believe, I don't remember which one of her videos this was in, but this comes in at only 77 minutes. And it was directed by Edward A. Palmer, a movie from 2018 called Hippopotamus. A woman is kidnapped, but her kidnapper doesn't want ransom. He wants her to fall in love with him. And this is an absolutely terrifying premise. I feel like there is another movie, I want to say it's called Pet, starring Dominic Monaghan. Just a scary premise and scary theme overall. Next is a movie from 1993, the year that I was born. Some, including me, big fans, and that is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Coming in at only 76 minutes, this was directed by Henry Selick, and not to be confused with Tim Burton, who did write the story. Jack Skellington, king of Halloween Town, discovers Christmas Town, but his attempts to bring Christmas to his town causes confusion. And I have a whole Tim Burton corner. I have a whole Nightmare Before Christmas just themed wall. A big fan. Next, from 1959, coming in at 75 minutes, we have House on Haunted Hill, directed by William Castle. A millionaire offers $10,000 to 5 people who agree to be locked in a haunted mansion with him and his wife. In the remake, the stakes are higher, where it is $1 million being offered, and the remake is actually 25 minutes longer than the original. Number 6 here on this list is The Fear Footage, directed by Ricky Umberger from 2018, coming in at 71 minutes. I feel like that is the sweet spot for movies. On April 19th, 2016, Deputy Leo Cole vanished. The next morning, his body camera footage was discovered. There is a sequel, The Fear Footage 2, The Curse of the Tape from 2020, and this one is only a 74-minute runtime as well, so I figured I would mention that as a bonus. Okay, we're halfway through. You guys know I absolutely love 80s horror, so I am happy to mention at number 5, Dolls from 1987, directed by Stuart Gordon. Coming in at 77 minutes, a dysfunctional family of 3 stop by a mansion during a storm, but the child discovers that the elderly owners are magical toy makers and have a haunted collection of dolls. And I just got caffeine brought to me. Anyways, as I was saying, if you guys are afraid of like antique dolls, haunted dolls, I don't know, Chucky at all. I feel like Dolls would be the movie to be campy enough to maybe not scare you, but leave a lasting impression in your brain. All right, number 4 is Knocking from 2021. This one I believe is a Shudder exclusive. This one has a runtime of 78 minutes and is directed by Frida Kempf. A woman leaves a psychiatric ward after a nervous breakdown, only to start hearing mysterious knocking sounds in her apartment. And I left this one out of my apartment horrors intentionally because I knew I would be talking about it in this video. Number 3 is The Devil's Candy. This one is from 2015 with a runtime of 79 minutes, so right under the 80-minute runtime. But this is directed by Sean Byrne, and remember that name because we will come back to that. A struggling painter is possessed by satanic forces after he and his young family move into their dream home in rural Texas. And as someone who paints and listens to a lot of metal, this movie resonates with me. And Sean Byrne, like I mentioned, the director, was also the director of The Loved Ones. And if you guys know, that movie is pretty wild. Number 9 I have to mention is Tetsuo the Iron Man from 1989. This one is only 67 minutes long, which is a perfect runtime. Directed by Shinya Tsukamoto, a businessman accidentally kills quote-unquote the metal fetishist, who gets revenge by slowly turning the man into a grotesque hybrid of flesh and metal. And I don't know why, but that description just makes me feel like tumbling doll of flesh. If you know, you know. Something about the black and white, like, I don't know, kind of grimy feeling of this movie just makes you feel like you need a shower after watching it. This film was actually based on a play that director Shinya Tsukamoto wrote, directed, and starred in back when he was in college. So that's pretty freaking cool. And last but not least, I'm going to mention a movie that is not out yet in hopes that it will be like a manifestation moment so that it will come out. And that is All Jacked Up and Full of Worms. And technically it is out because it did make its festival rounds, but I did not make said festivals. And I want to see this movie. All Jacked Up and Full of Worms from 2022. Doesn't that title just like rope you in? I want to see this movie so bad. This has a runtime of 72 minutes, directed by Alex Phillips. A motel worker discovers snorting earthworms, gives him a euphoric hallucinatory trip, and as someone who has an actual irrational fear of worms, I feel like this is gonna be like a what's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, I really want to see that movie. Check out the full trailer. I want, this is me using my Peter Strickland powers. If you guys have seen In Fabric, this is the motion they use to get people to come into the store. This is me trying to signal to like this movie, the creator, like, let me watch this movie. Anyways, that was 10 more horror movies with a runtime under 80 minutes because sometimes 90 minutes is just a little bit too long for you. And sometimes the phrase that I like to go by is a good movie is never too long and a bad movie is never too short. And I feel like that is where I could leave you with this list. So on that note, I will see you guys very soon. Keep an eye out for some new stuff. Check out the main channel, check out the store, and sayonara, Spooky fam.